things I can do for the job, a lot of things I have done for the job. And it's like, as much as I put up with dealing with the people there, all I asked for was a simple time off to go to my great grandma's funeral. Granted, I didn't know her like that, but I didn't realize how important it was that I needed to go until I went. My dad was telling me that my granddad was happy to be able to spend time with us. That was like one of the very few times that all of us gathered up. Shoot, he was even mad at my dad and my uncles because he was like, it shouldn't take somebody dying for all of us to be able to come together like this, so it need to happen more often. And it's like we always used to hang out a lot when we were in Florida. We used to go hang out with him. He would do cookouts and stuff like that. And our family's getting kind of old. Like, the more I think about it, that's something I've been thinking about too. It's like there's very few people that I'm close with in my family, but they are getting older, and there's a lot of time that I'm missing out hanging out with them. But I'm in a state of mind right now where it's just like like I don't know what to do in my head, because like I was saying before, I was in a place where I was so ready to isolate myself from everything because a lot of things felt like they were against me. It's like not so much that things felt like they were against me, it's just I had a lot of negative emotions built up and they've kind of been creeping back in. I was talking to my friend about it today. I watched Anna Connor video the other day where she was talking about being afraid of commitment. And one of the things was like you talk yourself out of having a type of relationship with somebody because it's basically was a video about being afraid of commitment and the different types of things you do to avoid it, or like why you may try to avoid it. And I was thinking about that because it's not just like with relationships, it's with like a dating relationship. For me personally, that's not how I just looked at it. It was also like relationships with people in general. And I was talking to my friend about it today, not the video, but my feelings that I've been having. And I'm very distrustful of people. I have a lot of negative thoughts when it comes to befriending people or getting to know people or even being around people or even looking at people exist sometimes, because there's a big part of me that just doesn't trust people, and there's also a big part of me that doesn't like people because of what I feel like they can do or would do, or what they do actually do and what they have done. Like, I distrust a lot of my friends, and it's not like they've done anything, but I've been doing a lot of looking back, because I remember I was looking at this post today actually. Well, yesterday technically, because it was past midnight. We're 2 hours past midnight. Blah blah blah. And it was about, she was posting her friend. It was her birthday. I knew the girl that she was posting for her birthday. I didn't really know her like that, but I was thinking, like, that took me back. Like, I remember when I used to be excited for people's birthdays. Like, there was when I graduated high school, there was two friends that I had from Florida. Like, well, technically, yeah, when we moved up here, there were two people that I considered close friends of mine, my brother and this other girl. And I started realizing, me and my brother, we were close. Like, I say were because I've been, again, distancing myself from a lot of things. But, me and him were close. We stick to thick and thin. And I feel like if we had a phone conversation, I don't know. I'm not really in a good place for stuff like that right now. But, me and him were close. We've known each other since middle school. And we've been friends since 7th grade. So, me and him are close, and I've known this other friend for practically the same amount of time, but I didn't really get close to her until freshman year, because she was one of the people, I don't think she's ever going to watch any of my videos if she hasn't, but I used to have a crush on her. And my thing about having crushes on people is that I don't know if they ever know, but they sure don't treat me like they do. But I had a crush on her. And, you know, a lot of things that I would do was for me trying to get closer to her. Like, I remember when I got my last girlfriend in 10th grade, but like it's been 5 years since I've dated anybody. I was actually gonna try to start getting closer to this friend to maybe start a relationship up. And that's when my last girlfriend came around. It was like I literally was about to start talking to my friend, like start a conversation with her, and then she popped out of nowhere and started a conversation with me, and I'm like, crap, my plan is foiled. But this girl is kind of cute, so let me see where this goes. And it didn't really go anywhere good. So from then on, I kind of felt like I couldn't, you know, pursue a relationship because she was also friends with said girl, and I'm sure said girl tarnished my name in the dirt for everybody to know. But me and her were still close. I was just like, crap, now I can't try to like date you or anything, because it's like I'm not trying to be that guy that just one jumps from girl to girl, and I'm not trying to have you be a part of, our terrible relationship, because I had a heart at that time, even though I broke another girl's heart by dating this girl. And it's just like, you win some, you lose some. But I was still trying to be friends with her. But as time went on, and you know I started realizing that we were growing distant, and then I started thinking about how we were never, I don't think we were ever really that close, and that could be my fault. Because like my brother said that, there was plenty of opportunities where I could have got closer to her, but I didn't take those opportunities because I was a scaredy cat, and I wasn't trying to rush anything. And it's like I was trying to make sure she was comfortable, because I know how awkward I was when I had a crush on somebody back then. Like, if you could have seen me be the way that I was, boy. And it's funny because I was not like that with the people that I actually ended up dating, but the relationship didn't end up good. So I guess that kind of says all that needs to be said about that. But I started realizing we're not that close, so I kind of just kept my distance. And then there was an incident around the time I started having a lot of incidents. A lot of people's boyfriends decided they want to feel some type of way because I was friends with their girlfriends. So I was just frustrated with that. And after that, I just kind of like, yeah, I'm not gonna deal with that, because I don't feel like going through this crap so many different times where people that don't even know me try to disrespect me for somebody that either I've known longer or can treat better. So, if this is the type of person you want to deal with, then I'm gonna let you do you. But then there was a time where she told me that they weren't together, and I was like, oh, what happened? But we didn't talk about that. And then it just kind of like, whatever relationship we might have had just kind of poof off in the distance, and we have not talked since. I was thinking about that, how excited I was for her birthday. She didn't even tell me happy birthday last year. And I ain't call me petty, but I look at that type of stuff. I stopped telling a lot of people happy birthday because a lot of people don't tell me happy birthday. We're just Facebook friends, and we just follow each other on Instagram or Twitter. I don't know you. I don't have to tell you happy birthday. Even if we were cool back in the day, we're not really cool. It's one of those, I see you on Facebook looking good, or I see you being successful on Facebook. Keep it up. Nothing more, nothing less. So I was thinking, we must not really be friends like that, because I remember I told you happy birthday. And I don't even think she acknowledged me telling her happy birthday. Again, call me petty, But that's the type of stuff I be thinking about. It's the little minute things. Then I was, my brother, like I said, I've been growing distant from him too, because I've just been growing a lot of distance from everybody in my life. And like I said, I've been reminiscing because I just think about how extroverted I was when I was younger. Like, I was nervous as crap when it came to girls, but could I talk to people? Like, I was so excited to be friends with certain people. I was so excited about spending time with certain people. And that naivety was also what led me to have bad relationships with people at work. There was another girl that um I had a crush on at work. It was technically like three, because I just wanted to be loved. The first one, I actually liked her. The second one, I was gonna try, but that third one, I honestly don't even. I guess it was kind of a repeat of the original situation I was just talking about. But I remember there was a girl at Wendy's before all of this. There was a girl at Wendy's that I was talking to, and I had a crush on her. I still don't necessarily know why we never made it official, but like we never did. But it still hurt because it was one of those official, unofficial type things. So when she just like ghosted me, it was like, dang, I really feel hurt. And it's like little stuff like that. But then the last girl, there was the one girl, that just wasn't gonna work out. Other girl wasn't gonna work out. Third girl wasn't gonna work out, but I still felt some type of way because we were close. And then I started thinking about that. We stopped being close for a lot of different reasons. And it's like, that's why I'm not really worried about relationships. I can't say I'm not worried about it. Like, I would really, really like to be in a relationship with somebody, because it's been so long that I'm starting to forget what it feels like to even have that type of feeling for somebody. Like, I still like women. I'm still attracted to them, and there's like little innocent like crush type feelings that I would feel for women that I find really attractive, that I actually get to have a conversation with. But it's like lately I just feel dead inside. Like, I was thinking about how I've never really felt romantic love. Like, the last person I dated, I thought was love, but it was really just attachment and toxic. And it's like I don't even know what it feels like to be cuddled up with somebody, because it's been that long to even have conversations with somebody about any type of thing. That was another reason why I ended up trying to like date these girls that were terrible for me, because of the fact that they did things that I wasn't used to. I get video chat on Instagram talking to them. Like, I've never done that. Well, I haven't done that in a while. Just talking to somebody day in and day out. There was another girl. I already knew from the jump what our relationship was going to be. I remember we never like talked or anything. Like, we never were in the talking stage as far as I'm concerned. But, I tried to be nice to her, but I knew we was gonna have problems when the first day that we actually started talking, because she knew she was close to one of my coworkers, so she would go see him, and then I happened to go where she worked at because I usually eat there for breakfast. I went there one day. She saw me, and then we were talking for so long that she ended up just coming to me to my job because I had to open still. And she was talking about how she was hungry because her job doesn't really do her all that good or whatnot. So I gave her a free sub. I was like, I like you enough to give you a free sub because I know who you are. You cool and all that. And then there was another time she tried to get a free sub, and I was like, you just trying to use me. And she's like, no, I'm not trying to use you, blah blah blah. And I'm like, I'm not giving you a free sub because I feel like you're gonna try to make this a habit, and you know no, like, you don't do anything for me for me to continuously give you a free sub. Like, you think just because you got one, you can get another, and that's not how this works. But we were talking a little bit, like, we would talk every day, and she would talk about how mean apparently I was to her. So I tried to be nicer, because I was doing that thing where I was trying to shut it down before it became anything, because I already knew it wasn't going to go anywhere. But I was still trying to be nice about it, because I was like, dang, I probably did hurt your feelings. And it's just like, I'm not used to this type of whatever it is that you're trying to do. But it's also like, I already know how this is going to end. And it ended up going exactly the way I thought it was. We stopped talking, never heard from her again. And it's like, I couldn't even get emotionally attached to it, because I already knew from the jump that this was how it was going to be. It's like, why do I have that foresight when it comes to certain people, and I can easily keep the emotional connection away? But for some other people, it's harder, because I let my guard down, and then by the time I try to let my guard back up, it's like, dang, it's too late, and you kind of cute. Now what? And I don't know. I listed a lot of things. I was like, okay, X, Y, Z. This ain't gonna work out for a lot of reasons, because there's so many things against whatever this is, and I already know that whatever I feel isn't gonna last, and you are probably don't feel the same way. But it didn't stop me from being an idiot. Now, I didn't do for both times, this last one and the one from I was talking about way earlier. I never brought it up to said person. Like, I didn't feel like I ever needed to. Now, if I would have did it with other friend, I don't know how that would have worked out. Could have been one of those situations where it's just, I'm just waiting on you to tell me, you idiot, and then I didn't. And it was like, well, But I knew in this particular situation there was like no point, because it didn't matter. It was like so many different things were happening that, kind of cut my emotions out of it, even though I still was being stupid. Because I'm lacking a lot of things when it comes to romance. I don't have anybody that I talk to romantically. I don't have anybody that I see romantically. Practically every girl that I know is at the job, and they're young, and they end up having relationships with guys that are completely terrible. And it's like, dang, these dudes getting people that would be great if they actually appreciated them, and I'm not getting jack squat, because all I gather is like little sisters. Like, I have yet to find anybody that I could be involved with romantically. And it's like, at first I was like, okay, I understand. I'm fine with it, because this particular group of people is just not going to work anyway. I don't look at them like that. And even if I did, I understand why it wouldn't work out. So I'm like, all right, whatever. Maybe somebody will come in to my job, and then I can start something from there. There was this one girl that asked for my number, but I didn't take that seriously, because I already knew that wasn't going anywhere either. She didn't remember my name after I told her twice. And then she didn't make for interesting conversation when I texted her. So I was like, I'm not even gonna try to do anything with that, because, it's not going nowhere. And it didn't really weigh on me like that until these past couple months. Because, like I said, I've been getting to a place where I've been isolating myself. And I've also been feeling like I don't really have anybody, like, in the long run. Like, I always feel like my best, I don't really have best friends, but I always feel like my friends aren't really that appreciative of me. And that's not me trying to like toot my own horn again or say that I'm like this great person, but it's like I was thinking about how extroverted I was and why I was taken out of dance, because not everybody was had the same energy as me. It's like I'm always on a different wavelength from people, because it's like when other people were more into the friendship than I was, I was out of it. Like I wasn't trying to be on the type of energy they were trying to be on. But then when I was, there were very few people that were receptive of it. And it's even gotten to the point that I'm not excited about anybody having a relationship with anybody at this point. That was another thing I was telling my friends. Like, I remember I used to be excited for birthdays. Like, the last birthday that I was excited for was one of my coworkers who was like, great. Like, I love her. And I felt like I wanted to show her how a man should treat her, because she had just got out of a terrible relationship. So I was going to go all out for her birthday. And I bought things for her. And, I was just really excited. But then as the time started passing, I was like, she's a great friend, but this energy isn't gonna persist. And it didn't. It's like I wasn't like mad or anything at her, or it wasn't one of those like, you know, happy birthday. Like I still was excited the day of it, but it's like I realized that I put a lot of energy into things and I don't get the same energy back. Like the output and the reception of the output are never equal. And it's been like that with practically everybody I've known since I've been 17. Like, I don't get a lot of the energy back, so I just stopped giving it out. And now it's kind of like I don't have it at all. And I was talking to her the other day. She was talking about, because I make fun of the fact that a lot of the songs that she introduces me to has made her cry. And I was like, you cry about everything. She was like, you gotta feel it. You have to have emotions. And I was like, I don't really have any emotions. She was like, you don't. That's sad. And it's like, all I was thinking about is the fact that I do feel pretty dead inside. Like, I've lost a lot of the happiness that I had when I was growing up. Like, I think the happiest I was on my 17th birthday, when I spent time with people that I thought were going to be my friends for like ever. And only one of those people actually still kind of stay in my life, even though I've been shutting him out. It's like I've been saying it's like a lot, but I'm in this place where I just don't know what to feel. And it's interesting because even though I feel like this, there's still anger. And a lot of my anger has been towards people. And I've been trying to figure out if it's like I really don't like people, or I don't like the fact that people don't treat me the way that I want to be treated. And the way I want to be treated is I just want to be loved. Like, it seems like such a foreign concept for me now because of the fact that, like I said, I don't even know what it feels like to be romantically involved with somebody that actually turned into a positive. And that's been my fault. That's been the other people's fault. It's just, I've been isolating everything about myself. And the funny thing is, I've been talking about a lot how I wanted to isolate myself from everything. And then I finally get to that point where I am isolated and I don't know what to do. I was telling my friend, I was like, I think part of the reason why I'm not in a rush to move out of my parents' house is that once I finally do get to that point of being by myself, that this isolation would drive me crazy. Like, I was watching this show called Adam Ruins Everything. What's going on with my phone? Are you dying? Come on. Come on. Yeah, you're at 15%. Come on. And there was an episode talking about shoot. There was an episode talking about prisons, and they were talking about solitary confinement and how bad it was mentally for the prisoners. I hate you sometimes, you know that? Alright, just making sure that you're charging what you got going on. Alright, they were talking about how solitary confinement is mentally dangerous for prisoners because that period of isolation it basically makes them insane. And I remember me and my brother had a conversation years ago about solitary. It wasn't necessarily solitary confinement, but it was being alone for long periods of time. And me being the introvert that I was at that time, I was thinking, what's wrong with being away from people for long periods of time? I don't even like people. And he was like, it's mentally damaging to not have that contact with people. And I was like, whatever. I don't need no contact with people. But I've been thinking about that lately, and I feel like the only reason I think that is because I have contact with people. It's just not necessarily people I want to have contact with. There's a lot of people, especially at the job, there's so many aggravating people, whether it be some people that work there or it's just people that come in. It's just very aggravating. People just, I don't know. I feel like if I was to truly isolate myself, I probably would be in a position where I never come out of it, or I do come out of it and I'm not okay. Because they say solitary confinement is like permanently damaging to your mental health. I've been thinking about that a lot lately because it's like, there we go again. I'm scared. I feel like this is the year where I need to isolate myself, isolate my focus to make sure that I'm in the proper position I need to be in to thrive and be better. But I'm scared of what the isolation is going to do for me, because it's either one of two things. I isolate myself properly, where I cut out all the negative things, the things that aren't good for me, and I still focus on the positive aspects of my life, and I end up making myself, look and feel better by the end of the year. Or I do the wrong thing and isolate myself from everything and everybody, and then I end up becoming this unrecognizable and really unlovable type of person. And I'm scared of doing the latter because all I can think about is what then? What comes out of the isolation that you have where you cut everything off? And it's hard because a lot of me feels like, you don't have to worry about a lot of relationships you have with people, because it's part of like, this isn't all you're gonna have, but it's also because you need to cut everything that you do have off. And I don't know, because I always feel like the only person you have to validate your feelings for is yourself. So if you feel some type of way, then you feel that type of way for a reason. But the caveat is, are you feeling this because it's true, or are you feeling this because the negativity in your mind is making you feel that this is the reality that you need to shape? And I just don't know. But I've been feeling like I don't really want to be around the people that I want to be around. I don't want to be around the people that I am currently around. And I feel like that's also part of me just wanting to experience something that I've never experienced before that I know I'm not going to get from the people that I'm around. And with that comes the realization that, hey, in order for you to get something different, you have to do something different. And that something different is most likely you leaving this job to go somewhere else. Sure, you have a lot of people that you care about there. Not really a lot. It's like a handful of people. But that's because we don't really have anybody. It's like, sure, you have those people that you care about. But also at the same time, F them. Like, if you're supposed to be friends with them, then you're going to be friends with them outside of that job. And you also have to do what works for you. And I feel like I need to take some time away from a job, period, and just like live life. Because that's one thing that I have not let myself do and ever since I got out of high school, which was live. Because when I'm 22 now. I think I was when I was 19. I think towards the end of the year, whatever year it was that I was 19, I don't feel like mathing right now. My dad told me, he's like, look, son, I love you, but if you don't go to college or you don't get a job, I'm gonna have to kick you out. Because I'm not gonna let you just sit and do nothing with your life. And that forced me, dang, it's practically 3 o'clock. That forced me into a position of saying, okay, now I really have to do something about myself because I don't want to be homeless because I didn't do anything, for myself. So I'm gonna try the college thing. The college thing didn't really work out because my dad's schedules weren't gonna I was gonna charge this, but I'm probably gonna go to the toilet when I get done. It's not gonna allow us time to sit down and say, hey, all right, this is what we're gonna do. Even if I was trying to be online, it still wanted me to go on campus to at least talk to the administrators. And I was like, okay, this isn't gonna work out. So I'm gonna have to find a job. So I started looking around and I really felt the pressure because I was like, if I don't do something, then I'm not gonna have a place to stay. And ever since then, I've been working. Like, I found my job at Wendy's. I've been working ever since. And I remember when I was talking to one of the girls at Wendy's, that was around the time. It was actually a little bit before I got my job at Firehouse. And I was working 2 jobs, and all I was thinking was, this is good for me. And I was like, working 2 jobs was terrible because I used to walk from